Hi everyone! So today we are going to resin coat some of these vases that I've done over the past week. When you're pouring on glass, you really don't have to let them cure for 2 to 3 weeks like you do on canvas because the paint can't breathe through the glass, so it forces itself to cure. But I have some beautiful vases here. They're going to be even more beautiful after we put the resin on. And the resin I'm going to be using today is the StoneCoat Art Coat. This is heat resistant, but doesn't really matter for vases. It's just what I have in stock and what I use the most of. But before we do that, I need to trim the edges. As you can see, I have paint drips and stuff. So what I do is I just take an X-Acto knife. I do the inside of the vase first to make sure there's no paint on the inside lip. And then I run it across the top to get the rest of that off. And you can see it comes off really easy with an X-Acto knife. That way when I resin, it seals this glass edge so that the paint can't lift off of that vase at all. It'll all be encased in resin. So I'm just going to fast forward while I clean these up, and then we'll get started with the resining. So enjoy. Okay, so the resin's all mixed. I have my gloves on. I'm only wearing one pair. Hopefully I can do this without making too much of a mess. And I'm going to go ahead and I have these cups stacked up because that was the only one I could figure out how to do these tall, narrow ones. So I like to keep my hand inside. You can put these on a tumbler, turner, a spinner, and do them that way. If you're only doing one or two, if you got a tumbler, that's great. But I have 3 of them, and I have way too many vases here, so I'm going to do them all by hand today. And we're just going to rub that resin in. You don't need a ton because it's just going to all drip off, so all you're doing is covering this vase up to make it shiny and sealed. So I find it best if I just dip my fingers in and put it on after I get that initial dollop of resin on there, because you still have a nice wet surface to work with. So it makes a big difference once you put the resin on. You can already see how much shinier they are and how more of the depth comes out. That's absolutely gorgeous. That section on that vase. So I like to get that edge. Make sure you get that edge. Alright, so now I'm going to pop it on the cups. And I'm just going to make sure I just tap that down. It's self-leveling, so if you leave a fingerprint in, don't worry about it. And I'm going to move that one away. Now, every 15 minutes, I'm going to come by with a stick and wipe any drips off that I see. So we got one done. Let's do the other tall one just to get those out of the way. This one's beautiful. Now you don't have to wipe these down with alcohol unless you had some silicone in your paint. I did, in this video of this vase, I did add a little bit of silicone 24 karat gold, so I'm really hoping that this won't skip. And when I say skip, I mean leave a silicone resistant spot. But if it does, it'll get a second coat. So I'm going to get this one on that edge. I'll pop that on the cups. These ones are going to be kind of a pain in the butt, I can already tell, to get the drips without ruining my cups, but it should peel right off. Okay, so now I'm going to do a regular vase with you, and then I'll do a candy dish so you can see how they're done. Now this one, I just put my hand about there. I'm going to go ahead and get that resin on there. This was a color request. Orange and purple, but of course we lost a lot of purple. But on the inside, it's all purple. It's a weird little face, but it's cute. So I didn't re-pour it. I thought it was adorable as it is. So make sure you get your little indentation there really well. And then get your edge. So when you're putting the resin on these too, you want to make sure that you space these far enough apart on your drying rack or wherever you're going to have them sitting, so you can get in there with a popsicle stick to wipe those drips. Ellen has a habit of putting them way in the back, and then I can't reach them. This vase came out gorgeous. Look at that gold. It's going to be beautiful when I pop this resin on there, watch. So I'm going to do one candy dish after this, and then I'm going to fast forward through the rest of them just so you can watch. And then we'll show you the dried results later in this video. Look how much the shine just comes back. They're so pretty. So if you watched Monday night, you watched us pour all these vases. I think Ellen did one candy dish. And what they are is just candle holders from Dollar Tree. And wipe them down with alcohol and pour paint on them. They work just as good. Good thing I have a little hand, huh? So I'm going to get that one on the rack. Now I don't torch unless I see a bunch of bubbles, but don't usually see bubbles. So on these candy dishes, let's do Allen's since that was a Monday nighter. Same thing. Get it going. And just add a little bit at a time because you really don't need much at all. Less than an ounce, guys, for a vase. Stretch it and stretch it because it will still drip. I already see one of my vases over there starting to have a drip already. So when these are cured, I'll bring you back and I'll show you how I finish them off if I do get a drip. So let's go ahead and fast forward through the rest of these, and then we'll bring you back when they're done. Okay, so our vases are all cured. Well, not cured, but they are dry to the touch. So they did come out pretty good. I only have, there's a lip here that I need to sand and 2 drips on this one. So I'll show you how I do that real quick. I fold my sandpaper in half, feel where that lip is at. Now if you're going to be sanding a lot of resin, you might want to put a mask on so that you don't inhale the dust, but this is going to go down inside the vase, so I'm not too worried about that. So the faster you sand, the faster it comes off, of course. You want to be careful that you don't take it down into the paint. So that feels much better. Get a paper towel. I'm going to wipe that out real quick. So if you can see where you sanded, I take a little polyacrylic. Actually, I can put it right on a piece of paper towel here. Just a little drop. And you can wipe that spot, and then you can't see where you sanded. And it will dry shiny because it's polyacrylic. So that one. Now, if you get drips, this is the only vase that I had drips on because I couldn't reach the back. So I'm going to go ahead and take that off. And you want to try to not hit this edge. You want to go towards the inside when you're taking them drips off. And they don't have to be completely smooth, guys. When you have flowers in this vase, you're not going to see those drips. Okay, let me wipe that one out. And then I'll take a little polyacrylic again. Just wipe that on there. And you can't even see where you sanded. Takes that sand look right off. Okay, so let me show them all to you real quick, and then I'll show you what the next step is. So this was the purple and gold. Came out really pretty. I love how the purple is inside the vase. Of course, this was the tall boy. They're just so much prettier with resin on them. So I'm going to set those two back because they need to dry a little bit. This was our coral reef in gold and brown and white. I love this side here. It's gorgeous. This was one I did a video. This one will be going in my living room to match my new gray and blue walls. This was one of Alan's, I believe, from Monday Night Live. Beautiful. See, the tops are all nice and smooth. That's why you want to walk by and just keep wiping those drips off. I actually spent a couple of hours. I'd come out here about every 20 minutes and wipe. Look at that. This was one of Ellen's too. Isn't that gorgeous? Of course, I'll be showing these again Monday night. This was a video. Love this side. So cool. And then this was a video as well. One of my little candy dishes. The bottoms are always cute, but we're going to cover those up. This one I did not do a video on. I was going to do some silver embellishments on here, but I changed my mind. I just left it. But what I had done is put a bottle bottom on here and let the colors drip, and I kept turning it. But it's kind of neat that it's striped like that. And then this was Alan's candy dish, and he's got a lot of drips. So I'm going to work on this one off camera. So I won't show you that one because this was way in the back and I could not reach it at all. So when I am finishing the bottoms, I buy my cork like this. It's adhesive cork. I think these are 3.75 pieces. Let's see if we can measure it. Yeah, 3.75. So if you're buying 4-inch tiles, you still have that little edge that you can play with. So what I do is I take a plastic cup and I like to measure everything that I'm going to be putting cork on to make sure it's not going to be too big. So I just put it on here like so. You want to make sure that you're still round and not oblong. Take your pencil and just draw around that. And then cut it out. And you want to be really careful cutting it out so that you're still a circle and not a bunch of crappy lines. Put a little effort into your finished pieces and they just look so much nicer. Don't rush. There's no reason to rush art, right? Alright, so we get that cut out. Then I can take this paper off, like so. I'll take this face right here. Now watch where you're putting it. Make sure you're equal. Just stick it on there. And that's not coming off. The reason I do this is because people have furniture sometimes that's painted. And if you put a resin piece on a painted surface, especially if the painted surface hasn't been around for like 5 years, or it's been dusted and cleaned, this may stick with humidity. So I don't run that chance with any of my artwork that's going out my door. I make sure I put a cork bottom on it because I don't want to damage anyone's furniture. So after you get that on, all you have to do is sign your work. And I just put my, this is my vase and box signature. And sometimes I'll stamp them as well. I have a stamper, and leave it like that. So that's good to go. These will have to cure for another week before I ship. So I'll be putting these in my Etsy shop for sale. But if anybody's interested in any of the vases that I've shown, let me know. I'll send you an invoice and you can purchase from there. I sell these for 15 bucks plus shipping. And God, it's so pretty. I have no room that I could put that in. All my rooms are blues and greens, but it's gorgeous. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you on Monday Night Live. Bye now.